holding everything down while I was working. I heard it was an awesome show. A lot of great interviews, good information.
Thank you.
All right. You already did the funeral announcements, right?
Yes.
Did everything? Okay. All right. So right now we have.
Excuse me. Let me do the introduction,
sorry.
please.
All
right. I know it is very special to me. It's special because not only is she my friend, but I consider her a big sister. And I am like so excited about what God is doing in her life. And just because of who she is, like when you're in her presence, she just brings like this calmness about you. She's just a phenomenal woman, and I am so excited to welcome back to the Congo Hour for the last time as Lisa Blunt Rochester. The next time she will be Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester. Welcome to the Congo. Oh, I'm sorry, and her dad is here too with her on this evening. So, welcome back to the Congo Hour.
Thank you, Wina. Thank you, Trippi. Thanks for having Dad and I on the show.
Yes.
He has been my road dog today, and
that's every day.
It's true. That's true. He's been campaigning as hard as I have, if not harder. So it's kind of nice to be able to say thank you to Dad on television and share this with everybody.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling?
You know, that's a great question. I'm just ready to serve. You know, it's been a full year of campaigning, and for someone who's never campaigned before, and especially up and down the state, Kent, Sussex, Newcastle, Wilmington, I've learned and seen so much in this 1 year, and I'm just ready to get to work. All the stories people have told me, all the issues that they have said are important to them. I want to just take that energy, that passion, that fire, that commitment to Washington and represent. We have a saying at all our little rallies now, when Lisa goes to Washington,
we all go to Washington. So we all know it from the commercials.
So Tuesday, how can people help you, Lisa?
Oh, that's a great question. Even leading up to Tuesday, tomorrow, first of all, tomorrow there will be a rally for a Democratic Party rally down at the riverfront at the coordinated campaign headquarters at 960 Justison Street, and it's at 5:30 tomorrow evening. Just to some rah-rah remarks, some food, some music, and we really want people to just come out and get pumped up about Tuesday, because we're going to need everybody to get out and vote and volunteer and get other people to come out to vote. So tomorrow, 5:30, down at the riverfront, people are welcome to come. We hope you'll come out. And then, we've got candidates up and down the ticket. I mean, local level right here, all the way to, Congress. And so we want all the candidates to come out, them to bring their supporters, but average folks that just want to, be charged up, because there's been so much that has made people just tired of elections and what they see on the news, and so we just want to take a minute to say, hey, let's talk about where we're going as a future. How can we be pumped up and charged? So come to that. We need people to make phone calls. We still need people to help people get to polling places, all that good stuff, and so we would really encourage people to just check us out and reach out to our headquarters and also the coordinated campaign headquarters. So,
Mr. Blunt, I know you just thought you was going to sit here and look good. When Lisa told you that she was considering running for Congress, what was your first thought?
I thought about Red Fox having the big one. He said, I'm coming. I'm out of here. She woke me up in the middle of the night and said, Dad, I'm going to surprise you. I said, tell me something new. She said, I'm going to run for Congress. And my wife, who really doesn't like to be involved publicly, was really shocked, but really proud of the mere fact that our daughter was willing to put her name on the line and put her neck out. Because when you run for office, you're really sticking your neck out, and you're looking forward to people trying to get out there to be supportive of you. And so for my wife, my other two daughters, her children, our grandchildren. I mean, it was something that made us all proud because it gave us the opportunity to see another person in the family go out and say, hey, look, I'd like to serve, and I'd like to serve you. And she's the kind of person that can bring people together. Yeah. Whereas when you see what's happening at the national level in terms of how negative things are from the Republican Party as it relates to the presidential race to what's happening here. And in Delaware, it really hasn't been negative as much as it has been about people wanting to serve. And for those that she ran against in the primary, it's been all love, you know, coming together and saying, hey, look, we're going to back you as the candidate for Congress. And so for me as a person that's run before, and even though she says she's never been involved in the campaign, she's been involved, she's just never run.
I said I've never run.
I know.
And one of the things I've learned about this process is it's a big difference. It's a big difference. I told my dad I have a newfound respect for him, a newfound respect for you, you know, you wake up every day, you know, thinking about this and wanting to do a good job, and it is not necessarily easy. So that's why I said I have newfound respect. I'm used to campaigns. I've stuffed envelopes and we knocked on doors all over the city because he made us. And so now it's kind of nice to put Dad to work because it's been kind of fun.
I made you?
Well, well.
Okay, if you say so. I thought I was just suggesting that you come out and help and knock on 1,000 doors and
in the heat
walk all day in the
Right.
summer when it's 100 degrees.
But you know what? It was worth it. And even when Dad and I would go door knocking in the city, it was funny how many people would say, everybody knew my dad, but they would say, you gave me a scholarship to go to college, or you helped me with my job, or my kid was having problems in school. And that was so positive. And even in Kent and Sussex, you know, I mean, people down in Sussex knew my dad. And so, you know, again, I'm really grateful and blessed to have Dad as an example. And I hope that I'm going to be an example to, you know, young folks, people who maybe lost someone in their lives, you know, people who just, everybody, that you can get out here and serve in whatever way you can, you know, so.
Lisa, do us a favor. I want you to look in camera 2 and 30 seconds give your elevator speech. 30 seconds, Lisa.
30 seconds. Okay.
Why they should vote for you.
Well, I am Lisa Blunt Rochester, your candidate for Congress, and you should vote for me. I think, number one, it's great that I'm African American and I'm a woman, and we'll be making some history in Delaware. But what I tell people is vote for me because I have 25 years experience running our Department of Labor to working at the Urban League in the city of Wilmington. Number two, I actually have a track record of bringing people together. And as my dad said, that's what we need in Washington right now. People who are going to bring people together to tackle the tough issues that we need to face. Everything from criminal justice reform to equal pay for equal work to raising the minimum wage and protecting Social Security. And number three, I'm the most passionate, positive person you will ever meet in public service. And I would love your vote on November 8th. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. See you tomorrow, right? 5:30.
Yes,
Okay.
I'll be there.
All right. We're going to take a really quick break, and we'll come back with State Rep Charles Potter.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome back to the Congo Hour Overtime. Right now I'm joined by a great friend of the show, of my family, of the city of Wilmington, my State Rep Charles Potter. Thanks for coming down, man.
Oh, good to see you, man.
Yeah, good seeing you too.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Man, we haven't been on here together in a minute.
Whew, it's been a while. I haven't been on TV at all.
Oh no?
No, not at all.
All right,
No.
okay. So we gotta. I guess I want you to educate us on your role as a state rep.
Okay, I'm happy to serve, and honored to serve as state representative for the 1st District and, of course, for the whole state. You know, as a state representative, I've been very, very busy. But before I talk about me, I want to talk about you. I'm here to endorse my good friend, Trippi Congo, for the 2nd District. I want all my seniors, all the people in the 1st Representative District to get out and support Trippi. Trippi is not only a good friend, but he's a good worker, and he really cares about people. So get out on Tuesday, vote for Trippi, and make sure you vote for State Rep Potter and Velda Jones Potter for City Treasurer and all the Democrats.
That's right. Yeah, definitely need your support. We definitely appreciate your support over the past years of us being in public office, but we need it again on this Tuesday. Make sure that you vote. Make sure that you bring a friend, a family member. It's a really important election, not only nationally but locally also.
Yes,
so,
locally, yes, and start at the top. Vote for Hillary Clinton, and as you know, that email probe is over once again. She's been cleared for the 100th time. We got to get Hillary in. We got to get all our Democrats in because it's very important.
It is.
But Trippi and I have worked together for a long time, even before we got elected. Trippi, you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. Before I got into politics, I did a lot of community service work just like you.
Yeah, and I guess this next term, I want to do a better job of bringing on elected officials, just so we can help our community be better educated on what our roles are, and just to be involved and be a part of the political system. So that's why I wanted you to talk about your role and what you do for your district in the city of Wilmington.
I work directly with you as one of my council people and NAMD, and we make sure first that we provide service. That's the first thing. When you get a phone call, call people back, see what their issues are, ride around the neighborhood, look at the conditions, make sure we keep the area clean. We work with our youth, make sure we have youth activities, which you do a lot of that. We had a PAL Center, excuse me, I've been talking all day, and you've been trying to get a center somewhere in the 2nd District, which we can look at. But it's a lot of hard work, but it's worth it.
Yeah, it is. What is your schedule like in Dover? Like, if people
busy.
So I know people, sometimes we try to encourage people to come to council meetings like the first and third Thursdays. So when do you meet in Dover, and like when are your meetings?
We run from January. We go from January through the end of June, and we usually start. The sessions usually around 2 o'clock.
Okay.
We start our session, but before that, we're in caucus meetings. We're meeting constituents. Although when I'm not down in Dover, I meet with the constituents all the time. Civic meetings or at Evelyn's, or they come to my office.
Okay.
We're very busy.
What is your role as far as the streets and the sidewalks? Do you play a role?
It is up to us, the state representatives. If you have a sidewalk that's in poor condition, we can get that fixed. Streets, we can get those fixed. And there's a lot of other things that we can do.
Okay.
More so since I've been down there 4 years. Most people think I've been down there longer. I've been educating our people to grant and aid, how you can get money from the state, because you have a lot of people who've been getting money from the state for many years. Then make sure that you're abreast of issues in the area, like the Washington Street extension. They wanted to turn it into 2 lanes. I had a public hearing because I believe the public should air it out. And we actually took a kind of semi-vote there and campaign and canvass the area. Most people are not supportive of that. Just like we have an issue now with Banner Stadium, which you've been made aware of, where Sally's wants to purchase, well, they wanted to purchase Banner Stadium 2 years ago, and that fell through. Now they're looking to lease it. And Sally's is in our district. I like Sally's. They do a lot of good things. But I'm not one for giving away our assets. We're trying to increase the footprint of the city, and I don't want to reduce it. And I'll say this really quick. I talked to President Theo Gregory, and I'm a straight shooter, and I'm just going to tell you straight. A couple weeks ago, and I asked him to get me the contracts that are related to the existing contract on Banner Stadium and the projected contract. He said he would do that. That was about a week or 2 ago. The president from Sally's called me a week ago, and we were supposed to meet this coming week. And what I said to both of them, that we can sit down and have a conversation. What they did, before we could have a conversation, they had a press conference to pass Tuesday or Wednesday at Sally's to create this picture of there's a tentative agreement between the city council and Sally's. And they paint the picture, they show some architectural renderings to say they want to put in $20 million. Well, I can tell you, when the stadium had a problem with the bleachers, I allocated $200,000 within 2 days when they made me aware of that. There's not no major problems with Banner Stadium. Banner Stadium's track has at least 5 years of useful life. The bleachers are in good condition. I can see doing some upgrades, but you got to look at what is needed versus what is wanted. And if we were to turn this over to a private entity, will our young people have access? That's what we got to be concerned with. Not only our young people, if we build a new high school, will we have access? I think that, again, I like Sally's. Sally's have used that field for many years. Right. Why couldn't Sally's come and say, hey, look, let me show some goodwill. Here's 3 or 4 million. Then we get the other schools to put in. The state put money in, the city and the county, and there's no need to turn that stadium over to one person to manage the operation and to not only operations, but they will be doing all the scheduling. So people want to paint this big picture, well, they're going to put 20 million in all at once. That's not the case. I think that if we have a public hearing, I know there's a committee meeting scheduled, right, but there's a difference between a committee hearing and a public hearing where the complete public could air this out. That Banner Stadium has been the home for Howard, St. Mark's, St. E's, the Academy, and Sally's for many years. And I had a lot of young youth football teams say, well, we can't even get access. Right now, and if they do something new, they're going to up the price. Can we get in? We had to explore all this, and I don't think that any of the council people really, I'm not sure, correct me, seen all the financial numbers associated with what's coming in, what's being paid, and what the other projections are. And had they showed you that?
No, not yet. You brought up a few good points, too. Well, first of all, I think that it is important that the public be able to voice their opinion, whether they're for or against.
Correct, yes.
You know, the proposal for Sally's to lease it for the next 50
100 years.
Yeah, 50.
Well, it's like 50, and you're right, with an option for another 50 for $1.
Right.
I believe that's outrageous. That's me speaking.
Some people are saying that the stadium is in bad shape and it needs to be renovated and upgraded, and Sally's is willing to put the money into it, and the state doesn't have. It's not on. I guess the state does have the money, but it's not one of the state's priorities. It hasn't been one of the city's priorities to bring those renovations to Sally's. So now Sally's is stepping up, and they're saying that whoever has had access over the last 5 years will continue to have access. But then I know a lot of people are concerned about if it's going to be over the years, if Sally's will start to make it an exclusive stadium. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that people need to get
This is good that this is happening now, because this gives the public an opportunity to air it out, so we can completely see whether or not, when somebody says it's in bad condition, go over and take a look at it yourself. It's not. If you want to put a $3 million locker room in there, and that will make it a better facility, sure. If you want to put what you call the big screens, I can't think of the name of it, you can run the replays on the screen, all that, Tribal-Ton or something. I mean, it's good, but I can tell you it's needs versus wants if you look at it. And they're not going to do it all at once. So if they're going to put in $3 million a year, if you get money from the state, county, and the city, and the 3 schools, and the revenue generated, no one owner would have to own that. And if so, why can't the city look at doing a split partnership if it goes with Sally's and get some profit sharing out of it? You know, you just can't look at it one way where people say, oh, here's 20 million, we can't do it, we can't do it. You know, I always believe I can and I will. I haven't been down in Dover all these years, and I've been able to get a lot done, and I believe we can do this ourselves.
All right, so I think I talked to Namdi, you know, council.
Yes, Namdi's on board taking a good look. So is Jay Street.
Yes, just to kind of give the public a better opportunity to you know, voice their opinion. So we're not going to have the meeting in the committee room. We're going to have it actually in chambers. In the chambers. Come up, so people will be
and what they should have is the renderings of what they project. They should have. I've asked the state to provide the past 5 years of money generated on the rentals. We're only paying $200,000 a year to maintain that. You might have thought it was more. $200,000 is not a lot of money. It's not a lot. And as Stephanie Bolden is sitting out there watching, when the city came to us, all they wanted was $400,000 to do the new. Okay.
Go ahead. Finish your sentence.
To do the stands.
Okay. So you're definitely looking forward to more conversation about it. I think there are good points on each side, but I think we just
Yeah.
all have to be in the same room at the same
So
time.
do I.
To,
Can I say one last thing
yeah,
real
definitely,
quick?
definitely.
And I usually don't say this about me and my wife, but I will say this. History has been made, but you would never know about the paper. This is why we have our own news venue. Velda and I are only two husband and wife that have been elected at the same time in history in the state of Delaware.
Oh, wow.
Velda is the new elected city treasurer, and this will be the first time a woman has been in the city treasurer, and particularly a woman of color. You know, but they don't run this type of stuff, but it's very historic. So I wanted to say that. I usually don't say this, but the News Journal, they say all these other things, but they don't say that.
Right.
And we want to thank the people who trust us, and we love you.
All right, definitely want to congratulate both of you for,
Yes.
for making history.
And
glad-
for
I'm glad
you.
brought that up too.
And we're going to work hard to get you elected.
All right, I appreciate that. So again, we're going to need your support on Tuesday, November the 8th. Please go out and vote, and don't go by yourself. It's a really important election to just to get your family involved, your friends involved, and be a part of the process. We are running out of time, so we have to sign off now. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Congo Hour.
Thank you for having me.
Congo Hour Overtime. Thanks for coming out, man. I appreciate your endorsement.
I'm with you all the way.
All right, we'll see you, God willing, next Sunday.